Picture a bustling New York City apartment building, 5 miles from Manhattan, where the hum of elevators and the chatter of residents fill the halls under fluorescent lights. It's July 2025, and in the dimly lit lobby of the Evergreen Towers, a 20-story high-rise with peeling wallpaper and a faulty security camera 10 feet from the entrance, a man named Victor Kane, a 42-year-old maintenance worker with a sly grin and a hidden agenda, lures victims into a trap. The 10-foot elevator shaft, accessed through a service door 15 feet from the lobby, becomes a prison for 3 terrified tenants: Sarah Lee, a 28-year-old graphic designer with a quick wit; Tom Harris, a 35-year-old teacher with a family waiting upstairs; and Mia Rodriguez, a 30-year-old nurse on her way home from a night shift. Victor, tampering with the elevator controls 5 feet from the shaft, causes the car to stop between floors, trapping them in the metal box, then demands $50,000 ransom via a note slipped through the door. Screams echo through the shaft, heard by a neighbor 50 feet away in an adjacent apartment, who calls the NYPD, stationed 3 miles away in Queens. U.S. officers arrive, their flashlights cutting through the dark as they pry open the shaft door, descending into the 10-foot void with ropes and harnesses. Victor, caught 100 feet away in the basement, claims it was a malfunction, his tools scattered 20 feet from the controls. A search of the shaft, 10 feet deep, uncovers a hidden compartment with ransom notes and a burner phone. This elevator dropped, but his demands were higher. What's your worst elevator fear? Share it in the comments, and let's dive into this New York nightmare. Victor Kane was a fixture at Evergreen Towers, 5 miles from Manhattan, his toolbox always slung over his shoulder, his uniform crisp but his eyes evasive. At 5 feet 10 inches, with a shaved head and a tattoo peeking from his sleeve, he'd worked there for 5 years, fixing leaks 10 feet from the lobby and chatting with tenants like Sarah, who lived on the 8th floor, 50 feet from the elevator. Sarah, with her curly hair and laptop bag, designed logos for a firm 3 miles away in Long Island City, her nights spent sketching in her apartment 15 feet from the stairwell. Tom, the teacher, lived on the 12th floor, 100 feet from the lobby, his days at a school 2 miles away filled with lesson plans, his wife and 2 kids waiting 20 feet from his door. Mia, the nurse, on the 6th floor, 30 feet from the elevator, worked shifts at a hospital 4 miles away in Astoria, her exhaustion masking her suspicion of Victor's lingering stares. The trap began at 8 p.m., the elevator stopping between the 7th and 8th floors, 10 feet down the shaft. Victor's sabotage from the control panel 5 feet away in the basement. His ransom note, slipped through the door gap, demanded $50,000 wired to an account, or the shaft becomes their tomb. The neighbor, Clara, a 60-year-old retiree 50 feet away on the 7th floor, heard the screams and pounding, her call bringing officers 3 miles from the precinct. Another tenant, Jonah, a 45-year-old bartender 100 feet away on the 9th floor, saw Victor in the lobby earlier, acting nervous, his toolbox open 10 feet from the elevator. Suspicion fell on Jonah, whose debt to Victor from a poker game 2 miles away raised flags. Had he helped? Clara's friend, Lila, a 35-year-old nurse at Mia's hospital 4 miles away, saw Victor arguing with Sarah days before, 15 feet from her door. As officers pried the shaft open, a lead 100 miles away in Albany, a bank account tied to Victor, would shift the case. Curious? Keep watching, because this elevator's secrets are dropping fast. What's the scariest confined space you've been in? Drop it in the comments, and let's keep going. The Evergreen Towers elevator shaft, 10 feet wide and plunging 200 feet through the building, was a metal coffin between floors, its walls scratched from desperate nails, the air stale with fear. NYPD officers, their radios crackling 3 miles from their Queens precinct, rappelled down with ropes, their harnesses creaking 15 feet from the lobby service door. The trapped trio, Sarah, Tom, and Mia, huddled in the stalled car, 10 feet down, their screams echoing up the shaft, 50 feet from Clara's apartment. Forensics, 5 miles away, found Victor's fingerprints on the controls, 5 feet from the basement panel, confirming sabotage. Deputy Elena Ruiz, a 12-year veteran with a sharp mind, led the rescue, joined by Detective Sam Holt, a 40-year-old from Queens, 3 miles away. The ransom note, slipped through the door gap, was handwritten, tested for prints 5 miles away, matching Victor's. A search of Victor's locker, 10 feet from the basement, uncovered a burner phone with texts to a contact named Roy, a 38-year-old bookie 2 miles away in Astoria, demanding $50,000 split. Had Roy funded the trap? Jonah, the bartender, was a puzzle. His debt to Victor from a game 2 miles away made him a suspect, his shift ending near the lobby, 100 feet from the elevator. Lila, the nurse, saw Victor and Jonah whispering in the bar, 2 miles away, days before, Jonah's face pale. Another witness, Mara, a 42-year-old doorman at the building, saw Victor tampering with the elevator panel, 5 feet from the service door, hours before. Forensics, 5 miles away, found no malfunction, the stop was deliberate. The Albany lead, 100 miles away, was a bank with a $10,000 withdrawal in Victor's name, 5 miles from a pawn shop where he sold stolen items from tenants. A second lead, 50 miles away in Yonkers, a motel receipt in Victor's name, hinted at a hideout. Who else was in on the ransom? Drop your guess in the comments, because this elevator trap is getting tighter. What's your worst fear in a confined space? Share below, and let's keep descending. The Albany lead, 100 miles from New York, was a bank 5 miles from downtown, where Victor's $10,000 withdrawal funded the trap. His account linked to Roy's poker debts, confirmed 2 miles away. Deputy Ruiz and Detective Holt, back at the precinct 3 miles away, laid out the evidence. Fingerprints, note, burner phone, locker cash, motel receipt. Victor broke, his voice shaking. I needed the money. They were easy targets. The truth spilled out. Victor, drowning in $40,000 debt from gambling at Roy's Ring 2 miles away, targeted Sarah, Tom, and Mia for their professions, knowing their families could pay. He sabotaged the elevator, 10 feet down the shaft, slipping the note through the door gap, demanding ransom wired to a fake account. Jonah, the bartender, was a red herring. His debt to Victor was unrelated, his shift ending 100 feet from the lobby a coincidence, confirmed by bar logs 2 miles away. Lila's sighting of the whisper was Victor pressuring Jonah for money, not the trap. Mara's doorman testimony, the pawn shop 5 miles from Albany, and the motel in Yonkers, 50 miles away, tied Victor to a string of small thefts, but the elevator was his big score. The burner phone's texts to Roy, 3 trapped, ransom coming. Forensics, 5 miles away, matched Victor's DNA to a glove in the shaft, 15 feet from the door. A new witness, Cole, a 28-year-old tenant 50 feet from Sarah's apartment, saw Victor scouting the elevator, 10 feet from the lobby, weeks before. Victor's arrest for kidnapping and extortion shocked Evergreen Towers, his mugshot in tabloids, elevator of terror, and ransom in the shaft. The victims, recovering 5 miles away in a hospital, started a safety fund. This fictional tale, inspired by ransom crimes, warns that desperation can trap us all. What's your worst elevator fear? Share it below, and if this dropped you, smash that like, subscribe, and share. More confessions are coming to trap you.